Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. We've got our theme music going. Um, the adult background, dark background, all that kind of stuff, which means nothing other than we are getting ready to talk Men Speak on Mondays. I am your host, and I am Keisha Sharp. I am Coach K. And as promised, I told you that I would be speaking to men each Monday night until December. So we have just a couple of Mondays left in December. And don't tell the rest of the guys, but I think we kind of saved some of our best ones for last. Okay. Don't tell the other guys that. I just need you to continue to support us, to watch, to like, and to share. So again, I am Keisha and I'm Coach K. So who am I? I'll tell you who I am. I am a seasoned communicator. Oh yeah, I have like 30 years like under my belt, right, as a communicator. So in my former dispensation, a news anchor. In today's dispensation, I am a life coach and also a columnist with the Birmingham Times and also a podcaster who loves to have conversations with you and for you, asking the questions, tackling the topics that maybe you don't want to. So without further ado tonight, everybody. So anyway, that's my information. If you want to get in touch, that's KeishaSharp.com/life-coaching. If you need life coaching, and listen, you may just want to check the site out because we have other resources there as well. We have journals. For those of you who want to be an entrepreneur full time but just don't quite know what to do, we got you covered. Also have a mini course there, right? Teaching you step by step, line upon line, what you need to do. Okay. Check it out. KeishaSharp.com life/coaching for coaching and other resources to help you improve in your life, in your career, and your relationships. And speaking of relationships, I've got a friend. See,
And
it's almost like the folks say in the church, I've got a friend. And I'm calling on that friend right now. You all know him as Nephew. Like he is the producer extraordinaire, like one half of the Joe Lockett show is he. And you might as well say he's a third of the Keisha and Joe show that airs each and every Wednesday. And the Joe Lockett show airs weeknights. Okay. You can catch it on Joe Lockett's channel and probably on Nephew's channel too. Nephew, how you doing this evening?
here.
Good. I was saying I kind of like our vibe. Like we've kind of got this little adult, like dark theme, like, drawing the good people in.
This the Twitch background.
Twitch.
Shout out to the Twitch watchers out there. Yeah, this is the background I'm gonna use for Twitch when I get the video stuff edited on that.
Okay.
But yeah, I am Nephew. He is I am him. This on the low.
Yes.
Them all my catchphrases.
Yes. And what you all have to understand is that Nephew often comes to my defense a lot of times on the show because Lord knows I need it sometimes with Joe, right? So Nephew and I kind of have this little Wonder Twin power activate sort of thing going, right?
Yeah, because bump him. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he ain't really no explaining to be involved. You see the show, you know why.
Okay,
wrong.
right.
Yeah, he's wrong all the time.
No, he's just wrong. We'll deal with it later. But right now, this is our platform, and we can nobody can stop us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and cook. Go ahead and cook.
Speaking of cooking, let me let you go ahead and cook. And Nephew is young, but Lord, I say you're young. I mean, you may say you're not. But I love your measured perspectives about, we get into all things life and relationships, right? So one of the things that I always like, I like your measured sort of approach to relationships as it relates to dealing with women. What do I call you tonight? Do I call you nephew? Do I call you C? Do I call you Cliff Watkins? Which one?
You can go by Cliff, even though that's probably my dad's nickname at this point. Because yeah, I mean it's you, Miss Kisa, so it's fine. Family say C. Um,
Yes.
you guys, y'all call me nephew, so hey, either one of the three, it's fine.
So either one, we good.
Yeah, either one we good. You ain't saying the wrong name.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. That see, and he just a gentleman. He is such the gentleman. Speaking of nephew, we do a lot of talking, and Joe and I can be a little jaded as 50-something-year-olds as it relates to relationships or whatever. Um, some of my peeps nephew say we're just not connecting. Where are all the good guys? What's going on? Things have changed from a 20-something-year perspective, and he's late 20s, y'all. But I promise you, I think he's in the body of like a 60-year-old, but he's in his 20s, late 20s. Do you sense that there is an issue with connection, nephew, or do you think we're making much ado about nothing?
Depending on what part. Um,
Mm, mm,
I think a lot of dating is much to do about nothing, but
mhm.
it can be on the other hand, depending on what's important to you when you're dating. Um, from talking with a lot of older folks, it seems that the older you get, the more companionship seems to be more important than the other part. And the younger you is, the fairy tale still there. But if you're not interested in any of it, like I said, it can all be nothing. So I would say it depends on what part, what part was specific to you and your niche. I don't I don't think everything that people say on dating shows is one shoe fits all. Um, I honestly, if we being 100, I don't care about that like that. I really
Yeah,
don't. I
yeah.
do this because Joe is there. That's I mean, I do that because you and Joe got
Yeah.
love for you. But my when I get into dating seriously, it's
Mhm.
never this complicated.
Say that again. When you get into it seriously, it's never say that again.
Never this complicated.
Interesting. Interesting. What do you mean? Why are you calling it complicated? What would you term as complicated? The fact that we're talking about it or we're making it complicated?
People. It's not so much that you guys are talking about it or that you're interested in talking about it. People make it complicated. And
Mhm.
that brings off conversation because now you got to analyze people, or you know what I mean, low key psychoanalyze people because of how they're
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
and you always got to have that perspective anyway if you're dating somebody. But the difference is you're listening to folks that you're not trying to date versus somebody you got intentions with. So, like I said, everybody gonna make it complicated, but it's the
Mhm.
people that make it complicated, not dating.
So this is interesting that you say this because I have long said that having been married before, I have long said I don't think marriage is difficult. I think people can make it difficult, but I think it's really very simple if you're working toward the same goal. People make it complicated. People make it complicated. We complicate things. So I'm all flowing with you in that train of thought. So what would you tell ladies, because ladies will say, some ladies will argue, and I hear you in saying that, man, sometimes we're making this a little bit too deep. It's not really that deep. What would you tell ladies? Because I hear a lot of ladies saying this. What would you say to them? Would you say something like, "No, I'm not gonna even put anything in your mouth." What would you say to the ones who do say it's complicated? What would you say?
Uh, hate to repeat the other part, but it really be well. I'll ask her then if
Mm,
dating is so complicated. What's your three hurdles? What's your big complications? What's your big problems? Because from what I hear with people, if you finna invest anything into anybody, it's never gonna go how you invested it to go. It's gonna be another problem involved. It's gonna be something you didn't account for. It's gonna be something new. It's gonna be some nuance in it. But what about it are you the most uncomfortable with? Because you're only gonna get uncomfortable with something if you face it more times than not. And usually that's on you than it is people that you date. So I had to act like, well, why you keep messing up? Like, what's wrong with you? Where are you bringing the problem in? Like,
Yeah,
but a lot of folks ain't gonna have that type of accountability for real, for real. They ain't gonna want
yeah.
to take that jump for real, for real.
So, the funny thing is I'm sitting here thinking about what you're saying is you're saying basically to ask to tell people to do the self work, like what's going on with you, like ask those hard questions. So, what are you as a creative? You are a creative and in all aspects of the word, and I can say that because me, having an employee mindset for so many years, over in a different space of being a creative now, it's different, but it's truly who and what I am as a creative. What is intriguing as a you're not a millennial, you are a zer
Gen, yeah,
gen zer
Gen Z.
Gen Z dating millennial. What does that look like right about now? Look at my eyes, nephew. What is
uh,
that? What are y'all doing out there?
what are we not doing out here? I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying. Y'all are on Twitch, and
Oh,
I'm
it's cute.
sorry, nephew. I'm sorry. Online dating. I am just so not comfortable with that. But your generation is all about that, or are
Uh,
they? Or are they? Or are they?
we use it. We use it better than y'all. I say that.
Come
We,
school us, youngster.
um, most most folks that's around my age, if I hear anything from dating online with them, is usually never going to be serious enough to bring an expectation towards, or
Mm,
utilizing the sites intended on how the market dictates them now. So you like, and I use this. If you dating on like Bumble or Hinge, nine
mhm.
times out of 10, you're getting a 50-50. Maybe you're gonna find somebody that's as serious as you, but don't never count out the opportunity that they just want to jump off. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Come on, school us.
Tinder is usually the jump off site. Other
Yeah.
backwood channels that you don't know anything about, that's not big enough to learn nothing about, they're
Mhm.
backwood channels for jump offs.
Okay.
Black.com is jump offs. Christian Mingle is Christian versions of jump offs. Like
My
you
goodness.
gotta you gotta really weed in between. Christian Mingle ain't nothing but a jump off site.
Mm.
It's
Don't
not
be
something.
don't be fooled by the words, in other words.
Do not be pulled by the words. They got something called farmers only. That's just for farmers, and it's the same
Yeah,
thing.
I've seen it.
So I'm just saying, like you got to know how the sites today, not when they made them,
Yeah.
but how the sites function today to know what you're getting into, because that's a different market. You know what I mean? Just like if you was to be dating in a small town versus dating in a big city, you're
Mhm.
dealing with a different market that would dictate different actions. You can't go
Mm.
in there using small town mindset or small town dating rules and thinking it's gonna fly over in the big city because you're gonna be
I
small
got you.
potatoes and you're not gonna bring no attention. So
I
you gotta use
gotcha.
it for what you are.
Okay, so to help us as these um in my age group, help us to understand then what like first steps, first things first, because you know all the sites. Like I'm vaguely familiar, but I intentionally stay away. I'm like, I don't know if I need that drama. So what's step one in dating online? Would you recommend it? Or are you saying shut up? Would you recommend it? Shut up, Kisa. Would you recommend it?
um,
I'm letting you educate us.
I recommend it. Um, it's to each their own. Yeah, I say if
Mhm,
you're the type of person that's gonna be a little sensitive,
mhm,
or if you're the type of person that when you like somebody and they give you energy, you then expect a lot more from it.
mhm.
Don't do it. Um,
Okay. Okay. Tip. Tip.
and that's just me. I
Mhm.
can easily be wrong, but
Okay.
for me, if I dated or when I did, I probably still got them out there. If you did see me on the dating sites, that's me.
Okay.
But
Shout out to Nephew.
but nothing I was doing on those dating sites were with any type of expectation or with any
Yeah.
type of real seriousness. Most folks is not getting on. You might have a few that's desperate enough that
Yeah.
can't get anybody in their own circles, which I
Mhm.
promise you is like a small amount.
Okay.
It, it is understandable as it is. That's a small amount. Everybody on there is not like that.
Mm.
So I will say if you expect things easily, or
Mhm.
if you love really really hard, or you just like somebody strong enough to do anything for, just off of the hint of them giving you a back and forth, don't do that. You're gonna get played. You easy,
Wow. Easy,
easy,
easy, easy prey,
easily.
basically. Easy prey. That's it almost sounds as I'm listening to you, I've never ventured into those waters because I just again, I don't my comfort level is just not there. And I'm more old school, wanting to talk and, see because even if it starts virtually. Now, certainly I have it may be akin to us talking to people over the phone. Certainly I have met people over the phone and talked to them that way before, seeing them, right? So it could be slightly akin to that, but you certainly have to pull me out of the virtual world, so I may not be a good candidate for that. Um, Speaking of candidates, one dating expert nephew said that everybody's gonna be on these sites early January. So
Yes.
is that a good time? Oh, it is. You're saying yes. So that's a good time for people if they want to jump in, dip their toe into the water
Right now it's a good time.
right now.
Holidays, yeah, holidays,
Okay.
New Year's. I'm forgetting one other one, but holidays
Not
and New Year's
Easter,
are
not holidays like late in the year, first of the year.
like holidays like February, early February,
Valentine's Day. Yeah.
early February, New Year's
Uh-huh.
Day, around Christmas time,
Uh-huh.
uh, maybe around like early fall, and
Okay.
then at the beginning of summer.
Okay.
Spring, not
Uh,
summer.
Not
Summer
summer.
by that time everybody is kind of loose. Um,
Yeah.
Spring definitely.
So that window, a window. So let's repeat because if you all are listening at home, we're always trying to give you information, news you can use, ladies and gents. So this is a good time now, is what nephew's saying right now. If you hadn't kicked off in the fall already, so right now, heading into the new year, heading into Valentine's Day, heading into spring. Summer, he's saying, may taper off a little bit, but it picks back up during the fall. Did I get that right, nephew? Or if not, please amend.
No, no, no. You got it right. While they joke with it on social media, of course they got like cuffing season. That's early fall. Um,
Cuffing season, early fall. Yes.
I forget the other name for it, but I call it late ticket season. That's the springtime. And then you got I would like to call it lonely season. That is Christmas to New Year's or
Yeah.
Christmas to February. That's lonely
Yeah.
season for me. And
Mm.
around that span of time, again, know your market, know what you're getting into. These are high traffic markets because that's when most folks feel the loneliest.
So true. And
These are Yeah, those are the times when folks is really they really say they need somebody because they see how it is out with somebody. And those are the times where you will see it the most. Summer tends to be the time where everybody is more loose and everybody don't care to be with anyone. If they are, they are. But you seeing more single shots in the profile pictures, or you seeing more dudes hold the camera while she walking away, or the video shots, or the you know what I mean, the feet pics. You're seeing a lot of those than you are with we together, we out in public, we happy, yada yada yada. You feel me?
Yeah.
So those are the times that you're gonna get the most needy. So I will also say, know your channels. Also know the time of year because you gotta also know what you're gonna get. These ain't gonna be no and when we talked about this on the Joe Lockett show, that's what I tried to tell folks, but it go over folks' head. But
Didn't go over well.
no, it went well. I just don't think we brought enough attention to it. Like we
Okay.
talk about it all the time as far as with dating and then transition to the married point. But I don't think we focus enough on the dating point because a lot of folks fail. You can't get to the marriage point if you
Hmm.
can't even secure the first stage. You know what I mean? Or if you
Yeah.
can't even get the understanding on the first stage. And
Yeah.
a lot of older folks, if I'm just being blunt,
Yeah.
act like y'all pressed for time.
Yeah.
So in acting like you're pressed for time, you start to then show that you're pressed for time, and now you're more noticeable to be taken advantage of. Like
Mm.
if I'm correlating it to around my age bracket, you got the simps. You know you can't have any type of game with a girl one on one, so you got to use other angles that you know you can exploit. With older folks, you know you outthink us, but you don't know the current market today. So you might be thinking you outthinking us, but really you just got outwitted because you don't really know what you're playing with. But
Yeah.
it's easy to talk down to the younger folks because you don't know no better. Oh, I did
Mm.
the same thing you did, but you didn't do the same thing with the market that you in now. And it's clear that you're desperate. So I can exploit you more than you think you can outsmart me.
I don't
So
know if they're listening, but you're helping those who have an ear to hear. You know what I mean? Like this desperation thing is pretty doggone big. So I'm going in two different directions with my mind, and I need your help with it. Number one, I want to touch on the sites that you would recommend for the folks who are either that you or who are looking for something serious. Um, and number two, we have to round out at some point that looking desperate. Like, what are the signs of a desperate looking woman? So women won't be looking desperate. You can
okay,
tackle either one
I
at
can answer
first.
I can answer the site one pretty quick
Okay.
because I'm not recommending so much a site than it
Mhm,
is when you get on,
mhm.
see what you interact with. And I give you like maybe three things to look for. Because in like I said, either one of them you can encounter the same thing I'm talking about. And that's somebody getting you while you're either the most open or
Yeah.
you encountering somebody that is not the same way that you are. So
Mhm.
first thing I'll say is look at the profile pictures. If the profile pictures themselves, of course, they say pictures is 1,000 words, but it is more true in dating than you really give it credit for. If it don't align with what you see, swipe left. After you
Mm.
see that and you like what you see, then you message them. If you're getting robotic answers back, if you're getting go and check out my Snapchat or follow my Instagram or yada yada yada, that's not the person for you. That's somebody that might exploit you. If they're coming on too strong or with a clear intention, like, hey, I'm yada 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 yada, I would say be weary of that because everybody on these apps don't really have an intention for it for real, as much as you want to give it credit for. Again, do it to your own discretion because and we're gonna get to that with the desperate point. You might end up getting in contact with somebody that might be as desperate as you or desperate enough. But even then, I would say be weary of because
Absolutely.
all of these ain't always real people. You know what I mean? All of
Yeah.
these aren't people that's going on here for the intent of dating. These are folks that know it's people of prey here. I can get some money from you, or
Mm.
both. You know what I mean? Like it's been a whole bunch of interactions with dating to where you get on these sites and now you got to deal with somebody setting you up. Or if you around my age, that's why I don't do it as much. If you're around my age, you'll probably deal with somebody that's trying to set you up, rob you, yada yada yada, from other different, you know what I mean, sites. So
Oh,
I
wow.
would say
You mean
look out
rob you mean rob online or meeting up somewhere? Help me.
online. If you gullible enough and they know how to get you off online, then maybe online. But some folks aren't so trustworthy. So when you go and try to meet them or
Yeah,
look around
yeah,
my age, you're naive enough to get the jump off and bring her to your house. Now she
yeah.
sent locations and yada yada yada. Now you either on the news or you ain't got no stuff in your house no more. So
Yeah.
like I said, you got to be careful while you're going here too, and look out for if they're giving you real information or they're trying to act something, or if they're coming on too strong. If the pictures don't match with what the words is, because a lot of times these folks do not, and you'll notice it. Oh, I'm looking for yada 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 in the mirror, yada 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 in detention, and yada, and you look like a hood rat on the side. Like
Yeah.
folks don't match their words on this app either. It's very obvious. I can't really,
Wow.
you know what I mean, give it to you any more
Wow.
simpler than that. You will really
Wow.
notice it.
Yeah.
Make sure that you do your due diligence if you get in any type of interaction on any of these sites, and make sure that you keep yourself safe in any instance. Do not meet with nobody at your crib. Do not meet
Wow.
nobody in no shady area. Stay to populated areas. Stay to inside the restaurant, not outside. For women, do not meet this dude outside the restaurant. Meet him
Wow.
inside. I don't care how fancy or how it's gonna look for y'all to walk in. Meet him inside
Wow.
around people. Dudes, do not bring no girl to your house. I don't care what age you at, because a lot of y'all can be susceptible, period. I don't care how
Wow.
old you think you are. I don't care what age you at. Do not bring them to your house from no dating site.
Mm.
Will rob.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
cannot emphasize that enough. And usually you fight
Yeah.
back. It's enough of them young ends there to take you out.